Hello everyone, this is a little lecture I have created for Hahnemann's Day 2024. It's of course about Hahnemann's way on this very beautiful day. And yes, it is about 235 years after the first experiment that Hahnemann did with cinchona. This is 1790. This has been very nicely described and researched by Peter Morrell in an article Hahnemann's First Provings that you can find on the website of homeoint.org. In that experiment, it is described how Hahnemann created the idea of proving and the proving itself. And the one thing we cannot repeat often enough is that this remedy, which is now called China officinalis, is still being prescribed today. I prescribed it last week, maybe you too. So this is a fantastic idea that a medication, a remedy that has been created 235 years ago is still being used in medicine. And when we speak in general terms, that is really like a fantastic perception. But even more, the old indications that Hahnemann described in his famous publication 235 years more or less ago, they are still valid. For example, you read the symptom fermentation in the abdomen from eating fruit. Hahnemann gives the example of cherries. Well, that is still an indication for China, still today. So people are eating healthy and they eat fruit, etc. But this one person comes to you and says, when I eat fruit, I cannot eat fruit because my whole stomach, my abdomen start to bloat up. Well, this indication is still the same. So again, fantastic. So we had cases in the past, Hahnemann had cases, I have cases, so many people have cases all over the world that we can wonder how many cases are there confirming the usefulness and the power of the remedy China officinalis. I'm sure we are not speaking about tens, hundreds or thousands of cases, but tens of thousands of cases. And of course, most of those cases disappear with the homeopath in an attic, in a cellar or in the bin. And this is why we have created the project of Periodical. You can just click here on the link and go and look at this clinical file collection in the cloud, where the idea is to collect cases to improve and increase the visibility and reliability of homeopathic information. Just a little sidetrack. Now, of course, there is the old information, let's say the Hahnemann information, which is basically the more or less 95 provings, and there is the new information. So I say more or less 95 provings because Peter Morrell again has recently published a very nice book, Hahnemann's Homeopathy it is called, where he describes the different provings that have been made and have been published and then not repeated, etc. So there is in the different books, the chronic diseases, the materia medica pura and the fragmenta, there are provings that are not repeated. So it takes some research really to find out all the provings that Hahnemann did. Some of them are not being used today. And we can find all that information in this book you can get from the BJ and Friends in India, Hahnemann and Homeopathy by Peter Morrell. I truly recommend it. Now today we are far away from the 95 provings. We have thousands of remedies that have been proved. And so of course in Adonis there is this, all this information is available, the old information, the more recent and the very recent information, even with the recent update to Synthesis Adonis. And today I would nevertheless like to emphasize, honoring Hahnemann, our effort to allow you to work with the old information, the traditional information as well. And one example of that effort are the repertory views. You can view the repertory, Adonis, with more or less information according to your desire. This is called the repertory view. We can limit Adonis to the information of Hahnemann. which means, we put the date of 1843, which means all that has been published until 1843. And you can like work with the information that was available to Hahnemann and the colleagues at his time. Or we have what is called the quantum view, the conservative view, which is the expanded traditional sources, because since Hahnemann, many people even up to today have been adhering quite strictly to the original ideas, like how to make a proving, how to apply the remedy to the patient, etc. So these traditional sources, even contemporary, may exist. And of course, this will be reflected that when you select the quantum repertory view in Adonis, you will see only the more traditional remedies. But they will also contain references from more contemporary sources. So traditional authors who have added to the knowledge base that was started by Hahnemann will be included in the quantum view. I would also like to highlight a few new things that, which we can say, which can name the traditional repertory views. And you must know that today Synthesis Adonis refers to about 4,200 sources, different bibliographical sources. So that's really a lot. And fortunately, a few people have gone through the whole list to highlight and indicate the traditional sources that are valid if you would like to have a traditional Hahnemannian approach. April 10 is the day to speak about it. The first one I would like to mention is Chado Gallik, a very well-known homeopath from Germany, who has created a repertory view which he called the reliable sources. I think the name speaks for itself. Second, I would like to mention Erik van Woensel, my Belgian-Dutch friend who lives in Spain by now and who has co-authored with George Vitulkas the book Levels of Health. Also, he has gone through the whole lot and suggested which sources to use, not to use, to have traditional information in Synthesis Adonis. And at last, there is Venice Siddharthan, better known as Dr. Venice from India, Kerala, a young and very interesting homeopath who has been trained at the Alonsos Academy, also in the Hahnemannian College of Homeopathy in London, who is very active in teaching and who has also given us the favor to run through all these lists of sources. If on Hahnemann Day or on any other day you would like to use just the traditional information, well, the good news is with the help of these people, with the help of our project, you can do it. Thank you very much and wishing you a very happy Hahnemann Day and even a Hahnemann and homeopathic year. Bye bye.